Hello. Let's react to Jurisco.
This is a year of decision. Throw Herschel Walker and get us on track.
Shut up.
Stranger or not, you can never fully know everything about someone. For some people, these things aren't very serious, but for others, these things can be quite dark. Unnerving Reddit posts are nothing new to this channel. I've covered a few of them in both my Unnerving subreddits video and my The Dark Corners of the Internet series. However, I've never really had a video yet where I've truly focused on these posts, or been able to cover posts I've found that are particularly dark. Well, there's no better time than the present. Some of these are pretty intense,
That's
so
true.
just be aware of that. Follow my social media links below. Insta and 2000 on Twitter by the end of the year. Let's get into it. Every single person you meet for the first time is a stranger, which is obvious. Another thing that's also obvious is that, stranger or not, you can never fully know everything about someone. For some people, these things aren't very serious, but for others, these things can be quite dark.
Yeah.
View the Ask Reddit thread titled, "What's the most horrific act committed by someone you know personally?" This post would end up getting a lot of traction and received over 15,000 comments.
15,000. Good lord. That's a gold mine.
Trust me, these posts speak for themselves. The guy I went to school with was real calm, very smart, and everyone loved him. He was a gentle person from what I remember. He had lost his mom a couple years before this. She was a nurse and they found her in a hospital room during her shift. Unknown causes.
What? How'd she do? How'd she do that? Hold up.
Senior year of high school, dude is a championship wrestler, dominating his grades, and just doing good. He lived with his dad, who was a police officer for years and years. At lunch one day, he left school and came back. Everything was normal and the day was finished out. His dad did not show up for work that evening, and the police department sent someone to go knock on his door. They found the house ransacked and his dad lying in bed with a single to the head, deceased. Later that night, they called my grandmother in for questioning because she cleaned their house once a week. Not much later than that, the guy I went to school with broke down and confessed that he had come home on lunch to ask for money, and he and his dad got in an argument. His dad laid down like normal for a shift, and he took his dad's service pistol in. And after realizing what he'd done, he freaked out and turned the house upside down to make it look like a robbery, then went and finished the day at school to try to make it seem like he had no clue what happened. Shocked everyone. My ex, current at the time, boyfriend, told me that when he was younger, him and a couple of other boys were going to go hiking. There's an abandoned house in Barney with a hole about 4 or 5 feet deep in the barn that you can't get out of technically.
Dang, that's horrible.
Figured it out somehow because the ex ran into him a few years later and tried to apologize. He said the kid looked scared once he recognized him and wouldn't talk to him. Or this one I discovered just a couple months ago. Trigger warning for what's coming. Guy I used to know, former in-law, so I knew him for over 10 years. Get a text from my ex-wife saying I was floored. Was always a great guy. Total video game nerd like myself. Even got me into my favorite game. Been playing it for over 10 years now. Funny, good father. So I go digging online waiting for details, and the first result makes my heart drop into my stomach. He had been arrested at the end of last year for... then... I wanted to puke. That was before the details I had to pry out of my ex. Guess he was having an affair on his wife. One day the lady leaves him home alone with her daughter while she goes to work. He, among other sort of stuff. She tells her mom when she gets home, and the mom's reply was, "Yes, I know. That's why I left him alone with you." Between that incident and about a year after, I guess more, and making her perform on her own mom while she was doing that stuff to her. When the daughter eventually alerts the cops, the investigation gets the mom confessing on video. It makes me sick, and still I don't think I've processed it. More importantly, that poor girl has to live with him. I can't even imagine what she's been through. He tried saying it was consensual, so I guess when no one was buying it and prison was certain, he couldn't live with him. Scumbag. Ever since, I sometimes catch myself wondering what dark stuff people may be hiding. It just messes me up how seemingly otherwise good people can do such horrible stuff. You wouldn't even know they're like that unless they get caught. My cousin was 7 when his 5-year-old played the housekeeper's only child whom she adopted because they couldn't have children.
What? Wait. He was 7 years old when he done that. Nah. No.
Kids were not supposed to be near either, but somehow got to the one in the back. It was gated, but they got it anyway. Nobody knew they were there. The groundskeeper, who was the father, happened by, and then my cousin told him something was wrong. The poor man tried to get to his son, but by then he was too far gone. The man was hysterical and inconsolable. Everyone believed it was a tragic accident, but my other cousin and I spoke to our cousin. We asked him what happened. The staff were talking about some bruises on the kid's face. We got him to talk, and the kid said he was annoying, so we punched him and pushed him. In the water when he wouldn't stop crying. We couldn't believe it, so we asked him to tell us again. He stuck to the same story. We told our parents, so they talked to their sister or our cousin's mom. She talked to him and asked him what happened. He blamed up, didn't say a thing. When we asked him again, he told the same story and reenacted how he punched the little boy. He would never talk to the adults about it. We were teenagers. We don't trust that cousin.
Alright.
He isn't allowed in our houses unless he's with his parents. We don't let him in our cars alone either. Basically, we just don't hang out with him. His mother thinks he was scarred that day, so she dotes on him. Thinks he invented sliced bread like he's that special. We pretend we don't know him. A few years ago, I was on some dating site. Don't remember which. I think PTSD blocked it from my brain. I saw this lady who was too old for me and definitely not attractive. Her bio was something like, looking for someone willing to do anything. I had no intention of partaking in whatever this person wanted, but more than curiosity than possessed me. So I DM'd her and asked her, what are you looking for? She said, looking for a group of men to break into our home. I immediately go into a full-on panic attack. I start hyperventilating because I'm so shocked. I calm down and call the police in the town she lives in. I talk with an officer and tell him I don't have much info at all, but I want the kids to be safe. He pretty much tells me that if I'm comfortable with it, I need to talk to her enough to get her address. So I sit on it and realize I can't let those kids, assuming the whole thing is real, looking at it violent. I make a new account and message her. For the next 2 to 3 days, I have to call her as if I'm interested in the idea, but also without incriminating myself. The stuff I had to read from them also haunts me to this day. Her kids were somewhere around 4 years old and 2 months old, respectively. Eventually, I did get her address. I was at work until my manager had me to run outside and make a major call. I ran to my caller, called PSS in the county, gave them her name and address, and a detailed description of what had happened. They assured me they would do a wellness check, and I opted not to receive any evidence. My mental state was already destroyed from what I had to read for 2 to 3 days straight. I don't know what ended up happening, but PSS did visit, and I hope to God that if there were cases, they were taken away. And those posts are only the beginning.
Wow.
Although some are less verifiable than others, certain posts have even come with news articles and footage. If you want to look into it yourself, be cautious.
Wow.
Herschel Walker hasn't disputed accounts of incidents of domestic violence.
Walker pointed a gun to her head.
His ex-wife Cindy had a protective order against him.
This is a long pattern of behavior.
He had threatened her with knives and guns.
Do your own research.
Particularly uncommon. Everyone that's been in a relationship has had a disagreement or two at the very least. However, everyone has a limit to what they're willing to put up with. Whether that's something that someone says or does, everyone has something that they won't be able to move on from. This leads to a Reddit post I discovered on r/relationship advice. The title says, "My husband of 3 years said something I can't move on from." It's a relatively short post, so I'll read it in full. We have a job that requires us to wake up very early in the morning. We've been working a cubicle away for the past couple of years. That's how we met. He usually wakes up before me and makes me breakfast. He's been doing this since we got married. He's sweet and caring like that. He's also the funniest, most genuine and friendly person I know. I love him and know that he loves me back. Our relationship has always been stable. Now I'm not sure. Today, this morning, while we were having breakfast, he calmly asked me to kill him if I ever caught him cheating. I initially brushed it off as a joke and replied likewise. Then he said that he'd kill me if he found me cheating and he would enjoy it. I didn't know how to react. I just got chills. He's never been like this, and I can't imagine him saying things like this. All day at work, I've been thinking about what I did wrong. Did he read my messages? None of us keep passwords. And find something off? Did he see me talking with someone inappropriately? I don't know. What should I say to him? This is already a pretty unnerving post in and of itself. The fact that he said it so nonchalantly but also claimed that he would enjoy it is extremely worrying. A comment under the post said similar, basically telling the OP that this would get worse over time. The comment goes on to say that their ex-husband said something similar to the poster's husband, and they didn't take it seriously as they would never cheat. However, their ex-husband continued to become more and more paranoid, pushing himself closer and closer to that reaction. After reading that personal anecdote, it's reasonable to be even more concerned for OP at this point. What's even more concerning than that is that the OP never posted again as far as I can see. Their original account got suspended, and looking up the title anywhere brings up 0 update posts from other accounts that they could have made. We can only hope that this person wasn't harmed by their husband, or even worse, had their life taken away from them. Having anyone pretend to be someone you know or some person of authority in order to trick you is always terrifying. What if you're tricked so well that you accidentally let that person into your house or give them information that they can use against you in a harmful way? What if that person pretended to be your pet instead? On r/let's.me, a user posted a story called "He Pretended to Be My Dog." In the beginning, they explained that they lived in a small 2-floor house with their husband. This house has 2 entrances, a door on the front and another on the side of the house. They used to let their dog out through the side door. He pretended to be my dog. In the beginning, they explained that they lived in a small 2-floor house with their husband. This house has 2 entrances, a door on the front and another on the side of the house. They used to let their dog out through the side door, but due to a large step from the door to the ground hurting his hips, they began to let him out of the front door. This particular night, I was home alone with my dog, and it was around midnight when I decided to let him outside one last time before going to bed. I hook him up to his line, close the door and lock it, before heading into the kitchen to put away the dishes. This was pretty routine. Even if he used the bathroom quickly, he liked to walk around along the front side of the house for a few minutes before coming back inside. As I'm putting away the dishes, I hear a scratch on the door. Now my dog signals he wants to come inside. So I head over to let him back in. Since I've watched way too many scary movies, I always look through the door's peephole before opening the door. Out of habit, I look to check that my dog is in front of the door. Instead, I see a man staring very intently at the door handle. I freeze my hand on the door handle. I don't know how much time went by, but then I heard another scratch, this one louder than the last. This kind of wakes me up from my initial shock, and I run and grab my cell phone. I call my husband to tell him what's happening. He was very confused. I probably wasn't explaining the situation very well, but he says that he's heading home. This is when I realize my dog is still outside with this person. I head back to the front door, trying to make as little noise as possible to check whether the stranger is still there. Just like before, he's standing there, head bowed, looking at the doorknob. I tiptoe over to the laundry room and slowly open the door as quietly as possible. I can't see my dog anywhere, and the side of my house is covered in gravel. I knew I couldn't step outside without making a loud noise. She then tries to get an image of the man through the peephole, but her camera isn't able to focus on him. The man then looks directly up at her and smiles before walking away. Eventually, my husband comes home and they call the police before looking for the dog, who went to the neighbor's backyard. The police never found
That's
out
horrible.
who it was, and the poster says that they've moved since then. This, whether true or fictional, is something that could genuinely happen in real life. That's what makes it so terrifying. Anyone could have been tricked by this had someone been watching them from afar and decided to pretend to be their dog to get in. Who knows what they could want to do that for? Nothing good, that's for sure. As far as I know, thankfully nobody has been inspired by this story to try this in real life, but you may want to think twice next time you hear what you think is your pet scratching at the door. This last one is heavily censored for multiple reasons. However, I'll be reading the post and covering the associated news article. The post is titled, "My Dad Snapped in My Family This Morning." Yep, the internet ruined him. Growing up, my parents were extremely loving and happy people. I always had a special bond with both my parents. In 2020, my dad started going down the rabbit hole. He kept reading conspiracy theories about the stolen election, etc. He always said he wanted to keep us safe and healthy. It kept getting worse, and he verbally snapped at us a few times. Nothing physical, though. He never got physical with anybody. Well, at around 4 a.m. on September 11th, he had an argument with my mother, and he decided to take her, my dog, and my sister. My mother succumbed to her wounds, and my sister is in the hospital right now. My dad also fired back at the cops, and I'm shocked, and I don't even know what to say. I hope the FBI tightens its grip on you, and that your lackeys rot in prison and hell for poisoning so many people. A comment hyperlinked an article from the news confirming the authenticity of this post. In the city of Walled Lake, Michigan, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office would receive a horrifying call wherein a 25-year-old woman said her father had taken the life of her mother and shot her as well. After the officers arrived to the address and began moving towards the house, Igor Lanis, 53, came out of the house and began to fire at officers who, as stated before, took his life. They then went in the house and found the mother deceased as well as the daughter attempting to crawl out of the house. The police claim to not know what led to the shooting, although we do know now. According to the article, the daughter's sister, Rebecca Lanis, ended up in the hospital as well despite not being there but would recover. She would also attribute the attack to her father falling into certain internet rabbit holes. She is also the same person who created the Reddit post. She continued by saying that something like this could happen to anyone and that people need to watch their relatives and report them if they need to. Rest in peace everyone mentioned in this video, and thanks for watching.
Herschel Walker knows we succeed despite Washington, not because of it. He believes in freedom, not big government, solutions, not partisanship, and that liberty.
Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Okay.
Herschel Walker, U.S. Senate.
I'm stupid now, man.
Ready Fazbear's Pizza.
Alright. I think I'm doing something.
Alright. Got a bit of an unusual call today, but
An unusual call today.
A call from a kid's restaurant manager saying that they've been experiencing some weird paranormal activity.
Alright.
Let's see. The place is called Ready Fazbear's Pizza. Normally I'd get called into places that are abandoned or at least old buildings that are at least a century old. But the sheriff told me that this particular location was opened roughly 5 years ago. He mentioned that these activities are interrupting businesses and that they might have to close this location and reopen it elsewhere if I can't figure out what's going on. So let me go ahead and read off a few things they told me. So let's see here. Alright. They've reported that mysterious and disembodied voices can be heard all throughout the restaurant. Company property, particularly the animatronics themselves, will often move around the restaurant during the night, even when the power to the building is shut off completely. Sometimes said property will mysteriously disappear and then reappear a day or so later. And then this is one of the incidents they were telling me about, where basically a bunch of kids came running out of the bathroom crying because they saw, quote, someone else staring at them in the mirror, and that they were speaking in a language they didn't understand. A few employees will often feel a tense presence when working on or next to the animatronics, particularly at night. Night shift workers,
Particularly at night.
usually one at a time, walk around the restaurant after hours when the doors are locked. When they go to assess the situation and figure out how the child accidentally got locked in, they are nowhere to be found.
Accidentally got locked in.
Disappeared in full view of a few employees. When checking the security camera footage, these children seem to range in age and sex, but will consistently look between the ages of 6 and 11. And that's all she wrote. So, based off that information alone, my guess is that this is some sort of poltergeist. It does sound like there may be more than one in the building, but of course I won't know that for sure until I can hopefully make contact with one of them. The thing is, if no one's been possessed or has died yet, then it seems these entities may not be violent or demons or anything like that. These very well may just be the spirits of actual children who are maybe just lost and obviously confused about what's going on. But again, won't know for sure until we're in there. Alright, I believe that's everything I need. Yep, that's everything. Alright.
Just like, psh.
Okay, I was told the door should be unlocked and nobody should be inside the building. So, let's see what's up with this place. Okay, so the power to the building should be
Okay.
Alright, that seems to be the case. Okay, so I told them to make sure that the building's power was cut completely, just to make sure, like if a light turns on or the temperature changes or anything like that, then we could rule out the possibility of it being the power. Also, we need to make sure that it's not messing with the EMF reader. But of course, this unfortunately means that I have to work in the dark. Alright, let's get the EMF. police were
Oh
about to
no.
take him out of store. Anyone can hear me right now. You can either manipulate something in this room or attempt to speak through this device that I've set up for you. My name is Sean. Can you say my name back to me?
That's such a good little girl.
So now that I know that I'm speaking to someone,
Forget it.
tell me your name. Okay.
Oh my god. I'm doing them. Golden Bonnie.
Are you sitting down right
Probably.
off? Will you talk to me now?
Well, actually, not right now.
What else do you want? Noise? You want me to turn the
Noise?
box off? If I turn off the noise, will you talk to me? Alright, let's go ahead and turn the spirit box off for now. Alright, I turned the noise off. Whoever you are, I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want to have a conversation with you. Can you tell me where you are right now? The fuck is that noise? What the fuck is that? Hello? I don't know if the camera could see that, but I for sure just saw a head stick out and move over there. There should be no one here but me. So I'm gonna have to rewatch the footage. It looked like a silhouette of a person standing next to these pinball machines. This person definitely wasn't as tall as me, so maybe it was an apparition of one of the children the night guards keep.
Oh. Ooh.
Look at that. Now it's locked. Is the other one locked? Yeah, the other one's locked too. Well, I was gonna do some stuff in the bathroom to see if I could get the spirit the kid saw to reveal itself, but it seems like the spirit isn't a fan of that. So maybe I could come back tomorrow or something and see if the owners can unlock the door again and maybe take off its hinges so there won't be a door for the spirit to lock, you know? Anyways, I seriously need to check the footage because I need to make sure the camera even got what I just saw a moment ago. Alright, so it looks exactly what I saw, which was pretty much a shadow apparition of someone. It also looked like it could be a small kid, maybe, which would make sense if it's one of the children that the night guards were talking about. That just leads me to believe, you know, a lot more than I did originally, that maybe more than one spirit's presiding here. The voice that kept saying, off, sounded completely different than the first spirit I talked to, so I don't know. Let's, go ahead and turn the spirit box back on, see if we can get anyone else here to talk with me, and also see if any other activity will happen tonight. If not, then I'm probably gonna call it quits for tonight. Holy shit. Hello? That's gotta be one of the children. Look at that. Now she's gone. Hold on. Let me grab the case so I can see what that's about.
Oh.
Huh, well,
Hi.
I guess that explains where you were the entire time. I'm having a bit of a hard time believing you were left like that, though. I want to at least try to do a session with one of these things, so I guess now's a better time than any to see if these spirits are in fact controlling the animatronics themselves. Going in with the big...
I thought you said
I'm
trolling.
going to set up an ovulus for this session. So hopefully I can get some clearly spoken words. Alright. Is there anyone in the room with me right now? Anyone who'd like to communicate with me? I, of course, mean you no harm. I just want to know if someone else is in here with me. Did someone here move the...
I am.
You are? Okay, good. What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. All right. Hi, Gabriel. Can you tell me roughly where you are? So you're saying you're in front of the bear?
Inside.
Inside? Are you the one who moved the bear in here? Gabriel, why are you possessing the animatronics here? I'm not gonna assume you're
Trapped.
Trapped? You're trapped inside that thing? How did you get trapped? Gabriel, I know this may be uncomfortable for you, but I can't help you unless you answer my questions. How did you get trapped in that thing? Okay, well, if you're still troubled by what happened to you, then I guess we can skip those questions. If it means you'll keep talking to me. Okay. Do you remember how you died, Gabriel?
Murder.
There it is again.
Murder.
That's exactly what Susie said. Do you remember who murdered you, Gabriel?
Him.
Him? What do you mean, him, Gabriel? Do you remember his name? Gabriel, whether you're trying to or not, you're causing a lot of problems for the people who own this place. Now, if you help me out...
He must die.
Will pay.
I assume you're talking about your killer. I don't know if I'm going to kill him, per se, but I'm willing to find him and make him pay for what he did to you and Susie.
Yeah.
Tell me what you remember of him. Did you catch a glimpse of him, maybe? Do you remember what he looked like? What he was wearing?
Purple.
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 Okay, purple. Well, at least that's something. I was told by the restaurant owner that the employees here wear purple outfits. Did this person look like he worked here, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you ever see his face? Can you describe it to me?
No. Too dark.
No.
Oh,
too
okay.
dark. Okay, so it must
No,
have been
too
too dark
dark,
to make
okay.
out the facial features, I guess. Alright, so one last thing I want to ask before I go. I was talking to another spirit here named Susie, and she mentioned something about someone in a bunny suit. Does that sound familiar to you? Gabriel, are you still there?
Get out.
Get out. Why? Why do you want me to leave, Gabriel?
Get out.
Get out.
Have I said something to upset you?
Good lord.
What the fuck? Why did this just go out? What the fuck? Whoa, 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 what the fuck? Holy shit! Come on, come on, come on!
Oh.
Download the Domino's
He
app
didn't
today
want
and
to
become
be
a
found
personal
out.
High Rewards member to earn points toward free pizza.
He shut him up.